Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Learning HTML. So, in today's episode, we're going to start with horizontal rules. So, basically, you want to like a line that goes from here and stretches all the way to the end. So, how do we do that? So, let's say beneath header 1, beneath header 3 and 4, beneath header 3. So there should be a line between this header and this header. So I want to just separate it. How do I do that? So you open HR, we should add like a slasher, and there we go. Now you see this. This is stretching from one end to the other, and that's about it. It's a simple horizontal rule. Now let's say I have some text under header 1. I write like this, and I save it. Now you see this huge line of text. What I want to do is I want this starting from like in the middle somewhere. I want it to display on the second line. So with just pressing enter like this and saving it work? Nope, it won't. So how do we do that? Here comes something called a line break. So a line break is an element which defines that you want to make a line break, and you want a line to break and start without starting a new paragraph, basically. I'll just show you. It's easier to understand that way. Okay, now you see I can place this tag anywhere in between my text, and it's gonna just let it start from a new line. You see how convenient that is? So you can use line breaks to separate content, and you can use line breaks to start where your text should start from, or something like that. So you can see the various use cases. And yeah, now let's move on to the next chapter. There's something interesting. It's about basic styling. So let's say I want to style my header 1 to be of color red. Okay, so we're gonna do something called inline styling. So how do we do inline styling? So we're going to be applying CSS properties, and to start with, I want to change the background color. It's currently white. I don't like that, so I'll just do style equal double quotation, and in between the double quotation you write your code. So I want to edit the background color properties. I'll just write background color colon, and then I want it to be a turquoise color. Let's see. That's too much. Let's see, what else do we have here? Dark turquoise. Okay, that looks good. Now I want to style my text to be of color white. So I'm gonna do this color style color colon white. Save it. Looks good, but I feel like that's small. So if you want to edit other properties, you can just add a semicolon and then start another property. So now we're gonna edit the font size. So I want the font size to be larger, right? How am I gonna do that? So there are some properties that allow you to make your font size larger, and to do that, let's write font size. Should we use 1 second? Okay, use we're going to use font size. Okay, font size. I want it to be like 80 pixel. You can also specify the size with percentage. So you want like 500%. You can apply that. Nothing changes. Should be the same. 300. Sorry. Percent. Save it. Okay. So you can just edit around and see. Experiment. I believe that you can learn more by experimenting. So you can use either pixels by specifying the number of pixels and then ending it with px or just in percentage. Now we can change this font size. I mean the fonts family. I want to use a different font, so I'll just use font family. uh, I want Helvetica. I'll just write Helvetica and save it. Now you can see the difference this between this and this, right? So I'm using a different font. What about using other fonts, like let's say Impact? Okay, yep, you can see. So you can look up on the internet for various other fonts that you can use. You know, there are quite a lot. So I'm just mentioning the you know important stuff here. So now you learned how to edit colors and add line breaks and horizontal rules. Now, while we're at it, I want to also make my font. Let's say I want my paragraph text to be bold, right? So I'll just write here. Simple. You just write style equal, and then you can specify. But here we are going to use something else. We're going to wrap it up in a tag, and we're going to use tags, wrapping our content up in tags with specific properties to define this property. So let's say I want it to be bold, all of this text. I'm just gonna highlight all, and with that extension from video 1 we install the auto wrap thingy. I press alt W. There, I wrapped it. Now I'm just gonna write B. I'm going to use the tag B. It will make my text bold. And we save it. You can see the text became bolder. Now let's say there's this specific text, the last line, I want it to be italic. So what I do is I wrap it, and then I write I here and save it. So now you can see this text is bolded and italicized. So it's bolded and italicized. Now similarly, you can also use subscript and superscript. Now how do they look? Now let's say I want this part to be subscript, right? I'm just gonna write sub. Maybe it's not that apparent here. How about I do it here? Okay, and it makes it sub. And if I want it to be superscript, right? How am I gonna do that? I'm just gonna write sup and save it. And there, it's subscript and superscript. But perhaps what you can do is this. See, maybe, yeah, this is better. So now you can see this is like a superscript and subscript. And now, so you can use this if you want to display some mathematic equation or something on your website. Now, after bold text, we also have emphasized text. How we do that? We can just write EM and save it. Now this refers to emphasized text. I'm just gonna remove this. Okay, basically it does italicized in a way, but it's in HTML it means emphasized text, and there is like you can also do stuff like marked text and smaller text. So let's see, how do they work? Uh, how does marked text look like? Mark. Oh wow. So you see, this is like marked. So there's some important part on your website that you want to highlight. You can just wrap it up in a mark tag. But let's say you want to make it small. You can just write here a small tag, and you can see the difference. This is smaller than the other paragraph texts, and yeah. Now, similar to bold, right? You can there's something called strong, a strong tag, and you can see how it looks like, right? And just for comparison's sake, let's make this bold. So to me, I believe both of them look the same. I can't really tell the difference, but you can use strong. But usually in HTML, it defines text with strong importance. The content inside will be just be simply displayed as a bolded text. And yeah, now if you want to display that is no longer, like, let's say, uh, discount 80%, you write this and save it, but the discount isn't anymore available, right? How do you, like, you can just strike through the text by wrapping it up with a del tag, del, and you see this text has been uh, struck. There's like a line that has been struck between, and yeah. Now you want to display like underline text, like inserted, so we can just change this and just write, oh sorry, ins. So yeah, this text is now underlined. So you want to just display something underlined, you can just use the ins tag. And yeah, so I believe you guys have learned a lot today. In this video, we have learned about styling using inline style inside our tags, and you can apply multiple properties and separate them with semicolons, and the properties should be defined within the quotation marks. And yeah, we have seen various background color changes, font color changes, text related size, fonts families, different fonts, and horizontal rules, line breaks. So I hope this video is helpful and informative, and we'll see you in the other episode of Learning HTML, where we'll learn something about quotation and citation elements, perhaps. Alright, take care, guys. Until then.